Hi, this is Barrett Ristroff from Fairbanks, Alaska, and you are watching an excerpt from Roles for Agencies in Climate Change Adaptation for Alaska Native Villages. Please check out my YouTube page for more video clips on this topic. There are a lot of grants out there and a lot of agency support for planning. The result has been a lot of plans that sit on a shelf. Part of this is due to the lack of funds for actually implementing plans and the tendency for attention to shift over time. This is true even for the extensive plan put together by the Alaska Arctic Policy Commission. As one person who assisted with that plan said,
We write plans for everything, and then they just get shelved. Without funding to implement plans, they are just aspirational.
another part of the problem is that plans are often driven by someone outside of the community and are so long and complex that they're not accessible. As one planner said,
It doesn't help if someone writes a plan for you. You need to get community buy-in. Even if you get funding, if you don't have long-term buy-in, it will fall apart.
this can be an issue with hazard mitigation plans, or HMPs, which can be quite similar for very different communities. Communities value the funding that comes from having HMPs, but they are more likely to actually use simple plans like Small Community Emergency Response Plans, or SCERPs. As the Director of Public Works for one village explained,
The average person doesn't have time to go through a 200 plus page hazard mitigation plan. There needs to be something shorter and more visual. SCERT is a good model. It's easily accessible and easy to flip through.
Nathan Elswick, Environmental Coordinator for ANVIC, explained why he opted to create videos to convey elder knowledge instead of some sort of written document.
Plans are great if you use them. A lot of times they just sit on the shelf. Thicker plans really tend to sit on the shelf.
More than one person suggested the need to better display plans and information. One community coordinator suggested having posters showing what will result from different scenarios. He said,
Visualization goes a long way.
this might be a good opportunity to mention scenario planning. Scenario planning is quite a buzzword in university circles, and it can go hand in hand with climate change adaptation and adaptive management. We're already seeing this kind of thinking in wildlife management, where ADF&G has different rules for predator control that take effect when caribou reach different numbers. That said, scenario planning has yet to play a meaningful role in community planning in Alaska. One agency official offered some suggestions for improving scenario planning.
Scenarios lend themselves to storytelling. You can lay out 3 different stories about the future, then ask a village council what they think about the benefits of each story, how it affects their grandkids, and their values. Stories connect with people's culture. You can help them present a plan and show where these stories fit in. What's challenging is that we don't know what the future is going to be like. By using scenarios, you can acknowledge that you don't know what the future will be like, but you have some ideas. You can also consider what management decisions are the same in all scenarios. There are the low-hanging fruit. You can also focus on an action that would only pertain to one scenario, but would be really important to do if that scenario happens.
Scenarios can be integrated into analysis of alternatives in NEPA review, avoiding the need for supplemental reviews if any of the outlined scenarios materialize as expected. Megan Edwardson, council member for the Inupiat community of the Arctic Slope, offered some general advice on planning.
There's a need for the whole community to be working on a plan, but it's hard to get the whole community involved. Community meetings work well in smaller communities. In larger communities, only the people really interested will go. There's a need to bring in all the organizations in the community, use mailers and word of mouth. It might help to do this outside as a summer barbecue. If you get all the organizations involved, they will tell their employees, who will tell their families. Then this town becomes a little smaller. Use the right words. Word will get around in about an hour.
Community involvement is key. Ideally, planning consultants and regional nonprofits could serve as mentors, building up a team of local planners. In the meantime, there may be a need for oversight of contractors working with villages to ensure that funding for plans provided by agencies is spent wisely. Thanks to my musicians and participants, and thank you for watching. I hope you'll watch more of these video clips or check out my Google Drive for written strategies.